Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. This is MD Saiful Islam, an assistant teacher of Regional High School of Northern District of Bangladesh, and you are most welcome in my Saiful English Academy. Hope that you are very fond by the grace of Almighty Allah and watched my previous classes smartly and with the reference of my previous classes, today's class, I have been present here today in front of you with a new version of the new class named Position of a Noun in a Sentence. Position of a noun in a sentences with the reference of my previous classes. So, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. My dear learners, of course, you know that, my dear learners, noun is an interchange first of its in our English grammar. And what's the noun? Classification of a noun, use of a noun, such kinds of various kinds of articles have been discussed in my previous classes. And with my reference of my previous classes, to discuss have been present in front of you. So, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. Position of a noun in a sentence. Okay, maybe let's to discuss. I'm trying to discuss about your position of a noun in a sentence. So, maybe let's take a look at the board and try to understand. You'll have to your mind that, my dear learners, according to my mind, there are eight positions of a noun in a sentence, such as number one, at the place of a subject in a sentence. Okay, my dear learners, first version you'll have to mind that, my dear learners, at the place of a subject in a sentence. Next, number two, at the place of an object in a sentence. Try to memorize instantly with me, my dear learners. At the place of an object in a sentence. At the place of an object in a sentence. Number three, after any adjective in a sentence. After any preposition preposition in a sentence. After any demonstrative adjective in a sentence. After any possessive adjective in a sentence. After any articles in a sentence. And last number eight, after conjunction that in a sentence. Okay, Major, let's hope that you have understood clearly. You'll have to mind that there are eight positions of noun in a sentence. Try to memorize and try to save in your memory, Major learners. Number one, we'll have to mind that at the place of a subject in a sentence. At the place of a subject in a sentence. Now, my question to you: what's the position of a subject? Of course, I know that you will know the position of the subject, but I'm trying to share with you, my dear learners, what's the position of a subject. You'll have to mind that, my dear learners, A subject is used all time before a verb in a sentence. Before a verb in a sentence. Okay, my dear learners. And number one position, you have to mind that at the position of a subject. At the position of a subject. Of course, noun. Number two, my dear learners, at the place of an object in a sentence. But my question to you, my dear learners, so what's the position of an object there? You have to mind that in a sentence, the object an object is used after a verb. So, my dear learners, you have to mind that the place of an object in a sentence. Of course, noun will use. Okay, my dear learners. Next, number three, my dear learners, after any adjective after any adjective. Of course, you know that, my dear learners, what's an adjective? I know that you'll be able to reply my questions because much chance of discussion about your adjective. What's an adjective? Classification of adjective, users of an adjective in my previous classes. So, my dear learners, I know that you'll able to reply my questions, but I want to share that, my dear learners, adjective is a word which modifies a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. There are various kinds of adjective in a grammar. We can say good, bad, rich, poor, weak, strong. Okay, my dear learners, you have to mind that, my dear learners, after an our noun is used often after any adjective. After any adjective, that you have understood clearly. Median alerts next control next point after any preposition but now my question to you, what's a preposition? You know that, my dear, let's see, if we divide the word preposition, we can get two parts. Number one, pre, number two, position, pre and position. Of course, you know that, my dear learners. And what's the definition of a preposition? Of course, you know. But I want to share some information about preposition. My dear learners, preposition is a type of suffix which is used before a noun or a pronoun. A noun or a pronoun in a sentence and makes relationship among all words used in that sentence. And what kinds of preposition we can say in a sentence on, of, about, above, for, from, in, etc. And in this case, I want to suggest you that if any word is used after a preposition, that word must be a noun. Must be a noun. Of that you have understood clearly. Now, think about your next finds about after any demonstrative adjective. After any demonstrative adjective in a sentence. Of course, you know that words demonstrative adjective because it was the discussion matter of my previous classes, but I may discuss shortly here. You'll have to mind that, my dear learners, there are four types of words named this, that, this, those are called demonstrative adjective usually. And if any word is used after a substance of demonstrative adjectives such as this, that, this, those, of course, that word will be, of course, a noun. That you have understood clearly. My dear learners, next point, number six, after any possessive adjective. After any possessive adjective. I know that, my dear learners, you know what's a possessive adjective. I know that you'll be able to reply my question because it was a discussion matter of our previous classes. My dear learners, there are various kinds of possessive adjectives such as my, our, your, his, her, their, its, if, any name, apostrophes, etc. If any word is used in a sentence of substance of words such as my, our, your, his, her, their, its, rains, etc. So that word, of course, a noun. Of course, a noun. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, next. Friends, think about your articles, after any articles. You know that, my dear learners, there are three types of articles, three categories of articles, such as a, and the. And if any word is used after the a and the, that means article, of course, so that word must be a noun. That you have understood clearly. Now, think about after a conjunction that. After conjunction that. You know that, my dear learners, that is a relative pronoun. That is a relative pronoun that works as a relative pronoun sometimes. Sometimes works in conjunction. But if any words after that, such kind of words must be a noun. Okay, my dear learners. Hope that you have understood clearly, my dear learners. Now I'm trying to make you understand with some example. So, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. Education, ring-ups, darkness. Okay, my learners, now try to identify what subject and what subject of this sentence. I want to suggest that education is used in the sentence is the subject and darkness is an object. Because you are told that, my dear learners, at the time of finding any subject, you will have to ask the verb with at or sorry, oh. At the time of finding any subject of a statement you like to ask the verb with the whole, and if you get it will get the answer. Of course, suspense of course is the subject, but at the time of finding an object, you'll have to ask the verb wait oblique home, wait oblique home. If you get the answer, the suspense of words, of course, and object. So, my dear learners, in this sense, I want to say that, my dear learners, education is a subject in this statement, and darkness is an object in this statement. And you have to mind that, my dear learners, if any word is used at the place of any subject, of course, suspense of course, noun. Okay, my dear learners, and if any words is used at the place of an object, suspense of words, of course, noun. Of that you have understood clearly, my dear learners. Think about next example. Rohim is a good player. Okay, my dear learners, now try to think try to find out adjective of this statement. I know that, my dear learners, good is an adjective of this statement. It's, of course, an adjective. And you'll have to mind that if any word is used after an adjective in a sentence, substance of a word, of course, a noun. Of course, noun. Hope that you have understood clearly. Various kinds of example may be given regarding this, my dear learners. Mr. Rohim is a famous teacher. Mr. Korim is a famous dancer. Messi is a world famous footballer, etc. etc. Example may be given about this, my dear learners. Now think about next point. Korean made a good result by her chief. Okay, my dear learners, try to find out what's the position of this word. My dear learners, by the preposition in this sentence, and you have to mind that If any word is used after a preposition, substance of word, of course, noun. Of course, noun. Of that you have understood clearly. Now think about next example. This learner is my son. Is my son. My dear learners, try to find about what's the demonstrative adjective in this sentence. My dear learners, this is demonstrative adjective in this sentence, and try to mind and try to save in your memory, my dear learners. If the words is used, yes, a sense of demonstrative adjective in a sentence, of course, that was must be a noun. Must be a noun of the you have understood clearly. Now think about next example. I couldn't go to school because of my illness. Okay, my dear, let's take a look at the board and try to understand. My, of course, is a possessive adjective. Possessive adjective, and you will have to mind that, my dear learners, if any words is used after any possessive adjective in a sentence, of course, such a kind of word, of course, noun. Of course, noun. Hope for that you have understood clearly. Now think about next example. Korean is a footballer. Now think about what's the article of this statement. Major let's you have to mind that A each article, and you'll have to mind that my dear learners, if any word is used after any article A, and of course substantive of a word must be a noun. Must be a noun. Okay, my dear learners, of that you have understood clearly. But I'll have to mind in this sketch, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand the assistant of a noun or is name, adjective, and the assistant of an adjective is name, adverb in a sentence. You'll have to mind this structure, my dear learners. All time in a sentence about position of various kinds of words of this major learners. If only one word is used in a sentence after any article, of course, is a noun. But if two words is used after the article, of course, that words must be first word adjective and next word noun. And if three words is used, such as look at the board, Korean each image next image image F. At the case of think about the article, you have to mind that if one word is used after article, substance of word of course a noun. But if two words is used in a sentence, first word of course an adjective, and second word noun, but if three word is used in a sentence, first word of course adverb. Suppose very good boy. Okay, maybe let's hope that you have understood clearly. I may write another example, maybe learners. When like this each when like this each uh, Okay, my dear, you'll have to mind that if any word is used after articles, of course, a noun, but it has a complex discussion matter, my dear learners. It has a problem that the real problem is that, my dear learners, it's an exceptional discuss. My dear learners, you have to mind that if only one word is used after an article, that word, of course, a noun. Suppose Bangladesh is a country. Okay, my dear learners, you have to mind that if only one word is used after any articles, of course, a noun. Of course, a noun. But if two words, of course, a noun. But if two words is used after any articles, you have to mind that first word adjective and second word noun. Suppose Bangladesh is a country, good. Sorry, nice. Okay, my dear learners. So, what discussion matter? Main points, my dear learners. If only one word is used, that word's optional noun. But if two words is used, the first word is adjective and second word is noun. But you have to mind that, my dear learners. If three words is used after an articles, first word must be an adverb, second word adjective, and third word noun. Okay, my dear learners. Suppose noun, country, adjective, nice, adverb. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, now think about last point. After convention that any words must be a noun. Suppose we know that education is the backbone of nation. Okay, maybe let's take a look at the board and try to understand that what's percentage. Of course, so that it's one kind of convention. Convention. And you have to mind that, my dear learners, if any word is used after convention, that of course that word must be a noun. Must be a noun. I may write another example. We know that smoking is a dangerous thing. Okay, my Jelenas, take a look at the board and try to understand that, of course, convention and smoking is used after convention. That so, my Jelenas, if I ask you what category of person is smoking in this sentence, of course, noun. Of that you have understood clearly, my dear learners. Next example, I may give my dear learners about this example of a child. People know that corruption hinders development. Okay, my dear learners, now think about that. What categories of participants of course conjunction, corruption, what categories of participants of course noun. Of that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, I don't want to learn and discuss, but I want to share some information with you, my dear learners. Of course, you know that I'm a new teacher or new teacher an YouTube channel, and I'm trying to share English conversation at the time of making my birth kinds of video classes. So, my dear learners, if you notice any faults or mistakes in the rest of my video class, please excuse me and free to all my jealous so that I can help you. I can start in this way through my video classes throughout my life. So, my dear learners, over today, come to say again with the new version, the new class. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.